This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Today's video is another one of these in this series that I've been doing about, options that you've got or, kind of choices that you might have if you are in the market for a particular style of instrument. So far, we've looked at single cuts, Les Pauls and Telecasters and Strats, big fat jazz rockabilly boxes, thin line semis. Last week it was resonator guitars, and this week it's the pointy-horned devil of the guitar world, the SG. If you're looking for an SG but you don't want a Gibson, maybe you can't afford a Gibson, maybe you can afford a Gibson but maybe you want something that's not a Gibson for whatever reason, maybe you've had some kind of falling out with Gibson, plenty of people have, or maybe you just want to stand apart a little bit, just be a little bit apart from the crowd, stand out from the herd as it were, then here are some of the options that you might want to consider. Okay, kicking things off, we're stopping by Amazon, not somewhere you would usually expect to go shopping for guitars, but they sell them. And this is the vintage VS6 guitar. Now, I used to own one of these back in about 2009, 2010. And it was a great guitar, I have to say. The only reason I got rid of it was because I never fully acclimatized to the whole SG shape and just where, everything is in relation to everything else, Give an SG to a Strat player and tell them to find the 12th fret blindfolded, and usually they'll end up somewhere kind of about 5 frets out. It was a big adjustment from playing Fender style guitars, so that's something to bear in mind if you're about to make that leap. But if you are, convinced you are looking for an SG style guitar and you've got roughly 250 quid to spend, this is a good choice. All of the important stuff is there: mahogany body, mahogany set neck, pearloid crown inlays. Because this is a vintage guitar, you're getting Wilkinson pickups and Wilkinson hardware. Rosewood fretboard, 22 frets. No information here on the fretboard radius, but from my recollection it did feel very, very Gibson-y, so it's probably going to be somewhere within the region of a 12-inch radius. As I said, great guitar if this is the kind of thing you're after. Let's move on to the next one. This is the Dean Grand Sport in cherry. Now, yeah, it looks like the outline of it kind of looks like an SG that's been drawn by somebody that's kind of not really seen an SG, they've only heard a description, but I kind of like that. It gives it something of its own personality. You can tell what it's kind of aping, but it's not slavishly copying it, which is, for me, a tick in the plus column. Let's have a look there. I do like the shape of those inlays. They're just, they're like the sort of crown inlays, but they're not, just that sort of sucked in kind of concave sides to them. I think that looks really rather funky. There we go. What else have we got? So you got the usual array of controls. Most of these guitars are going to have pretty much the same blueprint, really, in terms of 2 humbuckers and, mahogany and set neck and so on. So let's see what we've got here. The pickups are USA DMT Nostalgia humbuckers. Hopefully that means, a nice, sweet sounding, warm, vintage style output, which that is, for me, I'm saying hopefully, that tends to be my favourite type of humbucker. Mahogany body and set neck, 22 fret Power Ferro fretboard, Tunematic hardtail bridge, black speed knobs and chrome hardware. So, all of the, the important stuff is there. You're getting a C profile neck, as you would expect, 24 3/4 inch fretboard. No information again on fretboard radius, but I think we can say that it's not going to be too far out of the ordinary here. I'm sure if it were, overly cambered or something like that, we would know about it. So I'm just going to assume that this is a nice kind of flattish Gibson feeling neck. Let's move on to the obvious choice, the Epiphone. Now, since Epiphone have redesigned the headstock, for the current range of guitars, I still can't quite get my head around it on a Les Paul. It just doesn't look quite right on a Les Paul, the Epiphone headstock. But you know what? On an SG, I'm thinking that looks kind of, it looks right. And isn't this a beautiful looking guitar? I love that subtle flaming under that transparent black finish. I think that is very, very attractive looking. This is giving me a little bit of guitar acquisition syndrome looking at this one, it has to be said. What do we get? I suspect we already know what we're getting. Well, it's saying vintage tone redefined for the modern player. Play gritty texture from 2 humbucker pickups. Shred with ease on a perfectly sculpted ebony fretboard. Dearie me, that is something that's I wasn't expecting. I was expecting, just the either rosewood or one of the rosewood substitutes that are being used these days. So we are getting, let's have a look at the specifications. Here we go. Mahogany body, mahogany neck, fretboard material ebony, 12-inch fretboard radius, 24 medium jumbo frets. Is that yes, it is. It's a 24 fret guitar, this. So if that's a consideration, I guess it's going for the more modern kind of player. What have we got? We've got Graphtec nut, Grover locking tuners, and Pro Booker 2 pickups, coil splitting, and phase switch. So you can, that phase switching, it's not quite the same as what you would get on the legendary Greeny Moore, Gary Moore, Peter Green guitar, because that was due to how the pickup was, the magnet was put into the pickup the wrong way around basically on that guitar. But you can get pretty close to it by switching your pickups out of phase. So a very, very versatile range of tones on offer from this guitar here. As I say, it's giving me a little bit of guitar acquisition syndrome. So watch this space on that one. The next one is this one, the Guild S100 Polara. Now, again, it's based on an SG. I think this design, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this design of Guild guitars harks from the 70s rather, when Fender acquired Guild, and the 70s was an era when Fender were kind of playing in Gibson's backyard and vice versa. You would find models from both companies that were, very similar to the opposition. And I kind of like the look of this. It's, as I say, it's not copying an SG, it's inspired by an SG. So what do we get? We get double cutaway, mahogany body, one-piece mahogany neck, rosewood fretboard, 22 frets and scale length as you would expect. Pickups, 2 Guild anti-hum dual coil humbuckers. Yes, that's like saying car for sale. 4 wheels, engine, steering mechanism, isn't it? It doesn't tell you a lot. But you're getting Grover stay-tight machine heads. Let's have a closer look at those. I'm not sure what those are, but are they locking machine heads or not? They're Grover machine heads. That's, I think, about all we can say. They don't look like they have any locking facilities there, which isn't a big deal for me, if I'm honest. So again, a nice looking guitar and just different enough if you want to stand out from the crowd. So let's move on to the final one on the list. I couldn't let this lineup go by without talking about Gordon Smiths. They've been making SG inspired guitars for many, many years, and this is the Gordon Smith GSG. Now I've spec'd one up here which looks nothing like this photograph, because on the Gordon Smith website it doesn't update as you spec up your guitar. But let's have a look at what I've got. A right-handed mahogany body. Let's see what other choices you've got. You can have Carina, Ash, Alder, or even Swamp Ash, which would be an unusual choice, but original. Again, let's have a look and see what we've got for the neck. You can have Carina, AAA flame maple, or roasted maple neck, if you so desire. I've spec'd this one up with the Gordon Smith thin neck profile because that's what's on my GS 1.5, and it is as comfortable as an old pair of slippers, I gotta tell you. Rosewood fretboard, but you can have maple, ebony, AAA flame maple or roasted flame maple, and yes, scratch plate. You knew which scratch plate I was going to choose there, didn't you? So the bridge, you can have either the bar, just the single wrap over one, or the compensated version of that, which Gordon Smith referred to as the lightning bridge, Tune-o-matic or Goto, or specify your own option for whatever you want. Pickups, we've got just the Gordon Smith humbuckers, chrome covers with black surrounds, headstock colour black, or you can have it colour matched. Speaking of colour, I forgot to mention that I have spec'd this up in trans cherry red, but you've got a whole bunch of different colours available there, from just a natural finish through to tobacco burst or metallic colours, or you can just specify something of your own. Get in touch with Gordon Smith and they will they will accommodate you. So how much does all of this cost then? Well, for essentially a custom built instrument that is as you've spec'd up, just a shade under 1,200 quid, I don't think that's bad value at all. I think that is astonishingly good value, and I can honestly tell you I've owned 2 Gordon Smiths and they are utterly superb guitars, fantastic build quality, and just great playing and sounding instruments. And for that sort of money, you know what, I just don't think that anyone can argue with that price. So there you go, those are the guitars in this kind of SG inspired lineup. So there you go. So which one would I have? Well, I will start off with the caveat that, as I said, when we were talking about the vintage VS6, I had one and I never really got on with just the shape of it. I like the look of it, which is why I bought it in the first place, basically. But just everything, because where the neck joins the body and everything is just a little bit too far that way, it's like, as I said, ask a habitual Fender player to find the 12th fret on an SG and they'll miss by about 3 frets usually. I never quite acclimatized to the just the logistics of playing it and just the ergonomics of it. But if I was going to get one and I was, in the market for that style of guitar, I was very, very impressed by that Epiphone. Yeah, I liked the look of that. I liked all of the switching options that you get on the pickups. It's going to be a very, very versatile instrument. The only thing that I would say about that is that this new lineup of Epiphone guitars, I've seen a few reviews of them, and there is quite a thing of bad fret jobs on them. You've got to kind of think, well, am I going to have the frets leveled and crowned? Trogley's Guitar Show, I don't know if you watch his channel, but he's said that about a few of the Epiphones that he's had in from this new range. But there you go. I suppose it would either be the Epiphone, or if I had the money to spend on an SG style guitar, I think it would just end up being the Gordon Smith, to be honest with you. But there you go. I'm doubtful whether I would be in the market for an SG anyway, for the reasons I mentioned earlier. But if I was, yeah, I'd just save up a bit longer and get the Gordon Smith. So there you go, folks. As I say, these are just some of the options that are available. These are the ones that in all of these videos that I'm doing like this, they're the ones that as I'm scrolling through websites and stuff, something just catches my eye and thinks, oh, yes, that's worth a second look. So, if you have any other suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comments section below. And with that, that's pretty much the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful in some way. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. well, if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. I'll just mention tomorrow is Friday, and we have a live stream, 5 p.m. UK time. It's just a bunch of middle-aged men sitting around drinking beer and having a chat. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see many of you there. If you're interested in supporting the channel, thank you, first of all, and thank you to everyone who already is. But if you're thinking about doing so, thank you in advance. All of the links are down in the description, and thank you in advance for checking them out. And with that, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you for watching. Thank you so much for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.